Hello, my beautiful besties. Episode 30, Who the Helly Did I Marry? I am now sitting with old Shane, and he is telling me his soliloquy of love for me, and basically is there begging me to give him a chance. And I am sitting there like, bro, I met you literally 20 seconds ago. I know that you've been stalking me for a while, so you think that you know me, but I don't know you like that. And you literally live with the woman that you had promised yourself to for the past 7 years. She tried to fight me, and you also are a recovering alcoholic. It seems like you have an addictive personality because you're clearly now addicted to me, and this is not the vibe. I don't need to be jumping into any relationships or doing anything right now, so I don't feel like this should go anywhere. No joke, y'all. He literally pulls up my Instagram and he shows me the last photo that I had posted on my Instagram stories, and he goes, "This photo drove me crazy last night." And I was like, okay. And he's like, "Yeah, I relieved myself using that because I don't want to have sex with my ex-girlfriend that I live with because I'm not attracted to her. And so I would rather off to your photos on your Instagram page." He's like, "So I knew that because I was able to get aroused like that over just this photo, that means that you're my soulmate." I'm like, brother, no, that just means that you are severely sexually frustrated. You need to not be doing this shit right now, and you probably should be in rehab or something. I look at him and I was like, "Shane Cutie, you are hot as shit, okay, young James Franco, but I cannot at this moment dedicate my time to a relationship like this or even a situationship like this because this is too much drama. I just got out of an insane 4-year marriage, and I need to take care of myself, figure out where I'm going to live, and get my ducks in a row." And it seems like you also need to get your ducks in a row because you need to get a job, start flipping burgers at McDonald's or something, save up some money, and get the hell out of that house if you don't want to be with that woman. I get up. He's like, "Wait, please." I'm like, "Don't touch me again. Don't contact me again. I don't want to have to block you, but I will block you if I have to." I walk out. He's like trying to plead with me. I just walk out the door, y'all. I go down the street. I turn the corner to go a different way. I hide in a bush for like 20 minutes, and then I go home, and he was blowing me up after that, and then I just ended up blocking him. I had run into him a couple times after that, which I'll update y'all on, but then a year later, what do I see on Instagram? An announcement that him and Cheyenne are getting married. And now every single year since then, he does this very heartfelt post about how he loves her and how he's so happy that she's his wife and she's the love of his life and that they've been through so many trials and tribulations, but he's so happy that they stuck it through, and he's just so happy. So that's the wrap up on Shane. Back to present day, I go up to my apartment. It's time to get to work, y'all. I'm looking for apartments, and I have a couple that I have scheduled to go and see. Some really like little cute 1-bedroom ones, a couple like little bungalows. I was like really wanting to live in a little back house or a bungalow at that point because I had lived in one of those right when I had met Takis. It was my favorite place I ever lived, but he hated living anywhere that opened directly outside. I just loved it so much. He always wanted to live in some skyscraper monstrosity that had like 8 different chutes and ladders to get up to your room, and I just did not want that vibe again, especially because I also had the dogs, and I wanted to figure out like a yard situation for them. And at this point we were still figuring out what we were going to do with the dogs, and Takis hadn't actually told me what he wanted to do because I was freaking out a little bit about having 2 dogs on my own since I did travel a lot for work, and I just didn't know how I was going to take care of everything. I get up to the apartment. I'm texting with Taki's mom. I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "Agape, update me on what's going on." I'm like, "All right, let's jump on a WhatsApp phone call, FaceTime." We jump on the call, and she's so cute. I love her so much, you guys. She's like, "Tell me what's going on." I go through the rundown list of all the things with Takis and all the money stuff that he's going, and she's like, "No." She's like, "That bastard. I can't believe I gave birth to him. I can't believe he's trying to screw you out of the money that you owe him. You're the reason that he's in the country. You're the reason that he has his job. You're the reason for everything. Like, he is going to pay you what he owes." Now, she didn't even know that he was supposedly moving to Miami because this man had completely stopped talking to his whole family and many of his friends because they were all coming down really hard on him for what he did to me. And so he wasn't trying to take accountability from anyone, and he was just avoiding everyone like the plague. So he hadn't even talked to his mom. So his mom was only getting info out of me specifically when her and I would talk. She looks at me, she goes, "Baby, I think I know what you need." I'm like, "What is it, babe?" She goes, "I'm going to jump on the next plane and I'm going to come there. I'm going to come there in 3 days. I'm going to take off work. I'm going to come and I'm going to mediate and I'm going to help you and I'm going to get you everything that you want." I was like, "It is a far ass flight. It's expensive. Are you sure you want to do that?" She was like, "You're my daughter through and through." She's like, "Regardless, you're my daughter." She's like, "He's not my son anymore. I'm coming down there and we're going to figure this out." I was like, "Okay, queen, I can take all the support that I need." She books her flight and she's going to be here in a week. While this is going on, I am on the phone with the lawyers from Matula. I'm figuring out all the things, and it does seem like it is a very expensive and long process, as many of you that have been through divorce know, and all the assets and stuff. And they were asking me questions about what our stocks were in the restaurants, how much agency I owned in the restaurants, because remember the trucks and everything that Takis and I both had in our names, I just had a percentage under my name. So we would have to work all that out. So basically, it would be a very long, drawn out process. And I just wanted to move on with my life. And I was getting very, very stressed because I was like, I just want this to be as easy as possible because I'm young and I still have so much to live for. And I just want to get out of this situation. This is going on, and I'm chatting with Richie every day. We're chatting, he's helping me out, and he tells me that he wants to take me to a really cute spa. And I was like, yes. He's like, you seem like you've been really stressed. It seems like you want to probably get a massage. And so like, I'll take you to the Korean spa. You'll get a massage. You'll get like a bunch of treatments. And then after that, we can go to dinner and chat and it'll be a good time. I'm like, okay, great. At this point, Richie is just kind of there supporting me, and we're not really talking about what we are. He's just being very sweet and kind and supportive, and is honestly being exactly what I need at that time, which is he is not expecting anything from me and I'm not expecting anything from him, but he is doing so much to show me how much he cares and just really, really being there for me. He's helping me look at apartments. I had gone to see some like terrible apartments that he was like, no, these are not the vibe. And he was also sending me other locations and different listings for me. The day comes around and he takes me to We Spa. And if you've ever been there in K-Town, it's a very, very authentic Korean spa. Like I'm talking like old Korean ladies walking with their tatas out, okay? It's very free and you're seeing all the bits, and you get a body scrub that is going to take away years of layers of dirt off of your body that you didn't even think that you had. I came out like 3 shades lighter, I swear to God. And you just feel so taken care of. You can bring food in there. You jump in from like the warm to the cold spa. It's a really nice community and it's very relaxing. And so I was over there getting all the treatments, getting my body scrubs and my seaweed wraps and my 8 rolls of dirt just massaged off of me by these old Korean wonderful women, and just kind of chatting with the old Korean women. Some of them didn't speak English, but it was just so nice to feel like I was being taken care of. They're bringing me food. They're bringing me like some tteokbokki, which is these Korean rice cakes. They're bringing me ramen. I'm just sitting there eating. I'm like, I had never eaten in a spa before. If you ever have the opportunity to do this, I highly suggest it. Afterwards, my Korean prince picks me up. He didn't even get treatments. He literally was like working and then came, and he showed up in his cute little Gucci shoes, his baggy ass cargo pants and little polo sweater and his little side Gucci hat. And he was just looking super cute, my little Charles Melton. And he was like, okay, beautiful, why don't we go shopping as well? I'm like, say less, king. He's like, you've been very stressed. You've been having a very, very shitty time lately. So let's do some shopping. I'm like, I don't know how, but I need to get over this man's profession because this is the life for me. This man buys me this classic Chanel flat bag, this Tiffany's bracelet, and this Burberry trench coat. So after that, he was like, hey, I need to stop by my place and just get something for my mom because she's going to meet us there and just say hello and you can see her as well. I hadn't seen her and since that time that she had that beautiful pink Birkin Kelly that was like the, robot one. And I was like, oh, it's going to be good to see your mom. And he was like, yeah. We get there and his cute little mom is wearing this huge Hermes blanket like scarf over her body as an outfit. These little Celine slides and these huge ass Celine sunglasses and her hair freshly done from the salon in these like little short waves. I'm like, hi. And she's like, oh, hey, it's good to see you. She's like, how are you doing? Are you taking care of my Richie? I'm like, yes. She looks at Richie and she says something in Korean. And he's like, hey, Kat, hang on. I'm just going to go talk to my mom really quick. I'm like, okay, great. He goes into his bedroom and he's chatting with his mom, and I'm just sitting in his dining room table, just kind of like playing on his phone. And I can tell it's getting a little heated. Like they're arguing a little bit. And I'm like, what's going on over there? By the way, I'm dog sitting for my godson, Ollie. Many of you have seen him, but he's here. So if you hear scratching, that's this little fucker over here. He comes back in and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, come on, we're going to dinner. He like drags me out of there. I barely even have time to say bye to his mother. He takes me to Bestia, which is this beautiful restaurant in downtown LA. And they have the best squid ink pasta. I know it sounds crazy, but it's one of the best meals that I've ever had. Like, it is so delicious. And we're sitting there and drinking some wine, and I'm like, hey, what happened with your mom? And he was like, nothing, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, well, it seemed like she was kind of upset about me. Like, am I getting that wrong? You can tell me what's going on. And he's like, look, Kat, here's the deal. I really feel strongly about you. Like, you know that. I care deeply about you, and I have felt this adoration for you since the first time we met, but you've always been in a situation with your ex, and now that you're free, it feels like we finally have a chance. And I know that you have some reservations over certain things because of what I do, and that makes total sense. And I understand that my lifestyle is very different from yours, and I understand that you probably don't want to get into something right now. But my mom was saying that she doesn't really understand why we're spending more time together because there's no way that I can get serious with you. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not saying that I want this or not. I am saying that I'm just here in the moment and I care deeply about you as well. But why is it that she thinks that you wouldn't be able to be serious with me? And he just looks at me and he goes, she is requiring that I have a Korean wife because she wants Korean grandkids. And that is really important to her. It was in that moment, guys, that I realized not only can we not have a future together because of that fact that his mother wants him to be with a certain ethnicity, but also she's requiring that he has kids. And I looked at him and I was like, so you want kids? And he was like, oh, absolutely. He was like, I'm going to have kids. I've always wanted to be a father. He was like, I don't care what ethnicity my kids are, but like, I want children. And I just looked at him, and it was a moment that I've had a lot in past relationships. And I just looked at him and I was like, Richie, I adore you, but I don't want kids. And he looked at me and he was like, how is that possible? I'm like, I grew up in a household that was very chaotic and abusive. And I also have just never felt a calling to be a mother. I've always felt like I wanted to be child free. And that is just a choice that I made from a very young age. And he was like, you're like 24, like you could change your mind, like you're young. And I was like, look, I understand that and there's a possibility. So I never want to say never. But as it goes as of now, I don't want kids. Now, again, it could change. But I always said to myself that if I was older and I wasn't able to have my own kids, like I get like 40 or 50 and I couldn't have my own, I would just adopt, like if I feel called to. But I'm never going to let nature or my biological clock, as they say, delegate how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my life exactly what I want. And the way that I want it and the way that I foresee my future is child-free. And if something changes, it changes, and I'll accommodate myself and go with the flow with that. But I'm going to live my life now knowing that I want to live moment by moment for myself right now, especially since I just got out of this marriage. And he was like, Kat, I respect that so much, but I want kids and my mom wants Korean grandbabies. And I was like, but your mother married a white guy. Like, you're half white. And he was like, I know, but she wants like mostly Korean babies. I'm like, look, that's her prerogative, but you should not be delegated on the way that you live. And he was like, look, I'm falling deep for you, but I could have fought my mother on the fact that she wanted a Korean daughter-in-law. Like, I would have fought for you, but kids are a non-negotiable for me. Like, I want kids. I adore you, but I need to be a father. And I was like, look, I completely understand. I respect that. And I get that. It just seems like maybe this just can't really go anywhere, especially right now since everything, but why don't we just remain friends? And he was like, I care about you so much. I want to help you and continue to help you. But I think that we should just not think about any future plans right now. Like, I'm going to be here for you and stuff. And I care about you. We're going to hang out. But let's put a little bit of distance romantically, because I need to let my heart detach from you a little bit, because I did have a moment where I thought that I could see you being the mother of my kids. And y'all, that broke my heart, honestly. And that is something I think as women that we deal with, where it's like having a partner that differs from you in your child plans is something that you do need to talk about, I think, in the beginning. And me as a woman, I have chosen this life, and I am older now and I still have chosen this life. And like I said, if I change my mind and I'm in my 40s, 50s and I want a kid, I'll adopt. But I have a wonderful goddaughter. I have wonderful nieces and nephews from my friends, and that's really enough for me. And for anyone out there that feels like they are pressured into anything, or they feel like maybe being a mother or not being a mother is a hard choice for them, understand that your life is your life and you should choose what you want. So I support you and I'm here for you. And I think that is something that every woman needs to decide for herself. So after that, Richie and I didn't really talk as much. He was still supporting me and being very sweet, and we would chat and text and stuff. But I did want to give him the opportunity to detach and find a relationship with someone else, someone that wanted the same values as him. And as of today, I will say that the update on that is that I had seen him probably like 2-3 years ago. I ran into him at a birthday party over at Break Room 86, which is a bar in K-Town. And I saw him, and he was with this very beautiful Korean girl. And he introduced me and said that it was his fiance, and we had a drink together. And at one point I asked him, like, are you happy, Richie? And he was like, I'm really happy. And it made me so happy, because he deserves so much happiness. He helped me through a really hard time in my life. And it is true, guys, that some people are meant to be in your life for a season and not forever, but they help you through a certain chapter in your life. And I truly believe that. So I never mourn the exit of someone in my life that I cared about deeply. I just try to celebrate that in my mind, knowing that they are someone that we enriched each other, and he'll always be on my mind, and forever I will remember him. So I'm sorry, alas, this story with Richie ends in this way, but he was wonderful and he is happy now, and I wish him all the best. Now back to present day. Week rolls by, and I have my mother-in-law coming in town. Takis and I had been texting here and there, but honestly, it was kind of radio silent. And I knew that he was finalizing his deal for the Miami trip and for his Miami job. So I was keeping tabs on him through Maddie. Maddie was like, okay, like, I'm finding out that his deal is probably going to go through soon, but he knows that he's trying to get his ducks in a row because he knows that you are talking to a divorce lawyer and you're trying to figure it out. I had texted him and I was like, hey, look, let's meet next week. I'm going to get a lawyer and then we can chat this out. So you need to get a lawyer too, or a mediator. And he was like, no, I don't want lawyers. He's like, we got to work this out together. Like, I'm just going to leave and I'm not going to sign the divorce papers and we can just be separated. I did not want this man to leave to Miami, us just be separated, and then this fuck ass litigation just being drawn out and him being in another state and then me not getting the divorce and the alimony that I wanted. So his mother and I had schemed together and she was going to come and she wasn't telling him that she was going to come. And then we were going to bamboozle his ass and she was going to support me. And honestly, guys, if this woman hadn't come, I don't know if I would have survived this whole thing. I go pick her up from LAX. She's so cute. She was wearing this cute little black dress number with her hair in these like little kind of pom-pom pigtails because she always dresses in her hair like very cute. Big sunglasses. I was giving her a huge hug and I brought her to my house. She was staying with me, obviously. And immediately this woman goes to work in cooking me the most insane amount of meals. Like, she just went in the kitchen because she's an amazing chef. She went in there, she was making me Greek potatoes. She was making me spanakopita, which is like the crispy with the cheese and the spinach inside. She made me some pasticcio, which was my favorite Greek pasta. It's literally these round tubes of pasta that they stack upright. They bake it like this. They pour the sauce and the cheese on top so it all gets baked in together. And then you cut into it and it's like a pasta cake. It's amazing. And she was like, okay, we're going to eat, we're going to have wine, and then we're going to strategize. I'm like, bet queen, let's go. She sits down at the table and I think it's just going to be this long drawn out process of her telling me like all these like ins and outs and things that we're going to do. And she just looks at me. She's calmly eating her Greek salad with feta and tomatoes and onions that she made. And I'm eating my pastel. And she just looks at me and she goes, well, baby, Takis knows that I have a significant retirement fund and a significant asset behind me because of his grandfather dying and that I have a significant will to leave. And I'm just going to let him know that if he doesn't give you everything that you want, that I'm cutting him out of my will. And then this very dainty, beautiful Greek woman just very carefully pierces a little tomato, bites into it daintily. It doesn't splash or anything. She's so classy. And just looks at me. And I died. I was like, you are my hero. She was like, that's all that's going to happen. You're going to get everything that you want. She was like, and you're going to be in my will as well. But I'm going to let him know that he's not getting a damn thing from me unless he gives you every single thing you want. So write down every single thing that you want and you're going to get it, babe. And y'all, her and I sat there and we wrote down all the stipulations of the things that I want. So I kept it the same, $6,000 for 2 years, covering my expenses for moving, covering the dogs, covering any moving expenses, covering the deposit of my new place, him paying off both of the cars that we had under our names. And the next day we rolled up on his ass. He was meeting us at a brunch spot that was over in West Hollywood. And the minute that he saw his mother, y'all, he knew he was toast. So yes, episode 31, Takis, his confrontation with his mother and him knowing that there's no way out of it and him giving me exactly everything that I want. This is why being a girl's girl is so important, because his mother is the ultimate girl's girl and I would not have been able to do anything without all these wonderful women in my life. I love you and I see you. And to all my women out there who are going through anything like this, remember, I rose from the ashes, so you can too. I love you and I see you. Big hug, big kiss.